So this was a serious lesson that I had to learn because, it just had to be done because I had to, God let me know that there has to be a serious understanding between the spiritual and physical, right? And the reason why I had to be able to, the training for that was serious, actually, because a lot of people, they're actually physical and not spiritual. Okay. And when I'm speaking to them, a lot of the times I have to know how to tie everything in, because I know there were a lot of complaints where people always say, well, sometimes people can be so spiritual, and I'm not knocking that. I'm not disagreeing with that in the slightest bit, because I felt that way when I first met my spiritual father, and I was like, "Ooh, Papa, you are so spiritual, like you just don't get it." But it wasn't that he didn't get it; it was that he didn't acknowledge the physical, right? And he did this on purpose because he was teaching me the spiritual. And also there are things that he don't indulge in, because when you focus too much on the physical, you actually giving power to the demons and the devil, right? So that's what a lot of the times where I don't really focus on the physical, but I like to try to explain it in a way where people can understand the physical versus the spiritual, just like my papa taught me. So I understand where people are coming from when they say somebody is so spiritual, and God made it clear that you need to have a clear understanding of the spiritual and the physical, and you need to be able to tie them both together to help people to come over to the spiritual versus seeing the physical. But my papa, he not doing it. It's all spiritual with him. When he's speaking, there's a, don't name no names. You know what I mean? What spirit is it? That's how he talk. What spirit is that? I'd be like, well, so and so. He'd be like, what spirit is that? So and so, what spirit is that? He won't allow me to name names. But sometimes I get mixed up in get in the heat of the moment. I'm like, no, that person. I'm not talking about the spirit. I'm talking about that person. Right? But there's reasons behind this, because there are spiritual laws. So if you focus on the spirit, you're not breaking any spiritual laws because you're calling out the spirit. But if you focus on the individual, what people like to do is that they have their own feelings, their own convictions, and things of that nature, where you're calling them out, and then they will try to use that to curse you, right? Because there are different laws, right? So you got spiritual laws, and you got physical laws, you got natural laws, you got all kinds of laws, and people know this, so they use it to try to do harm to people or whatever. So whenever someone is speaking, that's why I'm always telling them, don't talk about the person, talk about the spirit. Don't talk about the person, talk about the spirit. Okay, what spirit is it? Because if you name the person, just like in King Solomon, when he was telling you, he was like, be careful what you say, because a little birdie may go and tell them. King Solomon was dropping them dimes, okay? He was dropping them gems. He was letting you know that these people out here, they listening through all kind of things, listen through the animals, listen through the birds. Be careful what you say, because a little birdie may go and say so-and-so, and then that person feeling some type of way, and then they're going to try to curse you. Okay, but if you call out the spirit, you have all legal grounds to do so.